Good Wednesday morning, friends, or afternoon, or evening, or whenever you might happen to be joining together online. This is our Wednesday morning time to join together to reflect on our faith, to ask together where and how is God working in our hearts, in our minds, in our souls, in our world around us. For those who may not know me, I'm Reverend Jennifer Finley, and I'm a Momentum and Discipleship Pastor here in Kirksville, Missouri at First UMC. And it is a joy every single week to gather together like this. The weeks I have taken off over the course of the last year or so, I have missed this. It is so good to see names popping up, to see greetings in the comments, to know that there are many of you who join us later in the evening or when you can after work. It is truly a joy to be able to reflect on our faith together. And this summer, as we do that together, we are using some simple words that I ran across from a poem, some liturgy written by Suzanne Vinson in this book, Broken Wide Whole. And each week we're looking at a simple word. The words she gives are refuge, comfort, awaken, plant, seek, tend, explore, wonder, show up, share, encircle, dwell. And last week we thought about refuge and where do we find places of refuge, safe places for ourselves and our hearts and our souls. Today is a little less adventuresome, at least from where I'm joining you from. The word that stood out for me this week was awaken, which is a little ironic given the fact that this morning was one of those mornings where awakening was more challenging than normal. I think y'all know that feeling where you hit the snooze button on the alarm clock and then you hit the snooze button on the phone. At least in my case, I have a built-in alarm clock because my cat, Ozzy, believes that he should be fed at the same time every morning, bright and early. But this morning, I even ignored him. And awakening was a little more challenging than normal. Now, most of you who know me also know that it's no secret that coffee is one of those things that gets me up in the morning, gets me going, and I mean, keeps me going probably throughout the day. Coffee is what awakens me in some respects. And I joke about that. It's true. Caffeine addiction's a real thing. But I wonder, I think this word for us, for me, is not simply speaking about speaking into this sense of awakening in the morning when that is hard. For the words that go with it say, awaken to the love that lives within and surrounds us. Awaken to the love that lives within and surrounds you. And that got me to thinking about what it means to awaken to the love of God in ourselves and the love of God as seen through others and our world. I know that it is difficult and challenging and hard to feel, to wake up to that love of God in us and for us, and that love that surrounds us. That's hard. Sometimes we don't feel it. Sometimes we are stumbling through the fog of our days, and it is next to impossible to awaken ourselves. In fact, we don't. We don't awaken ourselves to the love of God. God does that work in us. We simply open ourselves to that possibility. And so I'm wondering, in addition to your morning coffee or your morning caffeine or your morning routine, what awakens you? What reminds you that just as you are loved by God and loved by others? What awakens you to that reality over and over again? Now, there are all the Sunday school answers to that question, and some of them are very, very good and very, very true. Worship, being together, whether online or in person, awakens us, stirs in us, The love of God awakens us to the reality that we are indeed beautiful creations of God, created in the image of God just as we are, to be loved by God and to love others. But, and also, there are so many other things that are unique to each of us that awaken us to love in us and through us and around us. I'm thinking about long walks with a friend, or hikes in the woods, or porch conversations over dinner that go long into the night. Those are a few of mine. I wonder, what are yours? What awakens you? Some of the work that we are doing this summer together is to simply explore the ways in which God wakes us up to that reality of love, to explore together, to allow ourselves to be awakened after what feels like a very long, year plus, and for others, maybe more than that, time in that morning fog where it is hard to know that we are loved. The slow process, this awakening. But today is an invitation into that. So, along with your morning coffee or whatever it is, and along with hitting the snooze buttons multiple times, I invite you into this practice of allowing God to awaken in you, in me, in us, the beautiful awareness that we are loved by God and that God's love surrounds us. Whatever today may bring for you, may you go into it with eyes that are beginning to open to that awareness. Go in peace, my friends. Amen.